I am Michael, and I'm going to tell you something about the company where I'm doing currently my internship and the company culture here. So the company that I've chosen to do my internship is called Focus Economics. Focus Economics is a company that is specialized in creating economic reports. There are forecast reports, which means that they predict the economic future in the next month and for many years from now. And every month we try to improve this data. Focus Economics is located here in Barcelona, Spain, and it is the only branch that exists here. There are no other branches yet. There are also not that many competitors. There is one competitor which is called Consensus Economics, and it is located in London, England. The total, or approximately, there are 35 employees here in this branch, or the only branch, the head office. The company is created in the 90s. It was created and focused only on Latin American countries, for say South America, and later it was expanded to many other countries, and eventually we cover now 127 countries, as well as 33 commodities like zinc and copper and oil and whatever. As I am doing my internship in English, however, it is located in Spain, which means that there are going to be many international employees instead of Spanish employees. So my conclusion or my judgment is not really based on Spanish people, but it is more of a international office here where I am doing my internship. The department where I work is the marketing department. There are currently 4 people at the marketing department, including myself, and there is also one editor. The 3 people, including my supervisor, are from the United States. There is also another intern which is from Turkey. And now I'm going to talk about tasks that I perform here. The tasks that I perform here are usually day-to-day tasks that have to be done every day. There are tasks related to brand awareness, and I have to keep track of many journalists, the people who write about us in newspapers, as well as update the website and many other related things that are associated with brand awareness. One of the aspects of the 7 keys that I have chosen is time tolerance. I will judge this on the Dutch. I will compare this with the Dutch culture, because I've been living in Holland for many years, and as mentioned before, this is an international company. So what I can say about time tolerance here in Spain, this is not only for the company but as well as outside of the company. People, like in Netherlands, people tend to be on time, and punctuation is a very important aspect in the Netherlands, to being on time, and this is also the way that I am integrated into the Dutch culture, and this is also the way I am now and how I see things. Even if I go back to my own country, which is Russia, I am still the way that I have learned in the Netherlands, I also would like to be on time, and it doesn't mean that being late or you having freedom is a bad thing. It is that I am used to punctuation, and 9 o'clock means 9 o'clock. This was in the beginning, and however, I have noticed here people in Spain tend to be a little bit later than they actually say or they're supposed to be here. This is actually, I believe, a good thing, because when you have the freedom, you have less stress on being, for example, a minute late and then having some trouble with your supervisor. I believe this time tolerance is connected to power distance, which is also one of the 7 keys of the Solomon and Shell model. And I believe when you have a more strict policy, more strict system in a company, and this system usually is created by the culture in that country, then people tend to be more on time and to be more precise, and those things start to really matter. For the rest, I can say, as I said, it is an international company and there are many international employees, so I cannot really say there's a much difference with Netherlands, because in the Netherlands it is kind of the same, except for this time thing. For the rest, the culture are exactly the same. You have the freedom, you can say whatever you want, and you can call your supervisor by name. You do not need to call them by last name, as it is in Germany, for example. I would like to provide a situation or an example that is connected to this time tolerance. First of all, I do not want to say that not doing things on time doesn't mean that you are clumsy or that you are not organized. It just means that sometimes it is when some things are not that important, you don't need to be really specifically on time. It is just the culture here in Spain. I have also noticed outside work, whenever somebody tells you they're going to be there in 5 minutes and show up 1 hour later. My conclusion to this cultural video and the differences that I handled so far, I would say, as I am also not Dutch myself, I have also, in my culture, this is also the same when people tend to be a little later than they actually say, or if you have a appointment with someone, you should expect that they're going to be much later than they said. There are not that many differences that I should handle. As I said, this is an international environment. It is not a fully Spanish environment. However, we do have some Spanish employees, but they are also more international. And the culture is very similar to the Netherlands, to the Dutch culture. I was surprised because I wasn't sure I was going to be in another country, working in another country. But to my surprise, it is kind of the same. Also, one aspect that I would like to mention, but this is more of a personal aspect from Hofstede, you have the uncertainty avoidance. In my culture, not in the Netherlands, but in my culture, my own personal culture, we try to do things with more certainty, even though you are sure that you have done something correct. You still sometimes seek for approval from your supervisor for them to say, yes, it is correct. And it is here the culture, as well as in the Netherlands, to do things without actually asking for approval, because you have to be more confident and that you have done this right, and everything will be fine. And if I would live here in Spain, I would definitely adjust to this time tolerance thing. But right now I prefer to have it the Dutch way, and to have everything on time. And whenever you say you can be there in 5 minutes, actually be there in 5 minutes. Thank you, and this was my presentation about company culture.